Welcome back to the Green Beans Go channel. It's your host, me. I'll be warning you right this minute that I do not have the time to plop this in the editor and trim, cut, and splice today. So you're getting me very raw and very uncut. We'll start with last week, and then we'll move right into this week. Keenan Allen, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, and Zach Charbonnet all hit for our official plays. We also had Ibuka, Austin, and Lamar Jackson hit for our leans. Going forward, I'm not going to do leans and official plays. Anything that I write down is going to be an official play, even if it is a 0.1 unit play. It just makes it easier for me to track, and this is kind of confusing that some are bold, some are not bold, some are italicized, some are not italicized, some are purple, some are green. That's too much for you guys with busy schedules and jobs and wives and kids and husbands and sisters. You guys might have a sister out there. And if your sister's kind of barking up your tree, you don't want to have to decode a Green Beans Go spreadsheet. So we're doing it for you guys. We're doing it for the sisters, all the people with sisters out there. I do not have a sister, but I can understand that some of you do have sisters. Here we go. That's a look under the hood right there. I want to show you guys kind of how I'm tracking this all in my spreadsheet. If they win, if they lose, I put the check mark here. Then it calculates the unit based on the odds and the units played. So last week we did go up 2.85 units on anytime touchdowns. That's pretty good. We did lose 0.3 on first and 0.15 on two. So we are positive so far. Week one is down and we win. We made money if we stuck only to the official plays. Let's look at this week. And we'll start with Thursday Night Football. We got a good one I'm excited for. I am nervous about Green Bay's defense. Therefore, I am staying away from any Washington players. I just want to be cautious here. I like Jayden Reed a lot. Led the team in targets last week. 235 on any time. 15-1 on first. And 32-1 on first and two. We tried this with Njoku last week. What an absolute bust Njoku was. I apologize with all that happened in that game. But Jayden Reed first and two is 32-1 on FanDuel. I'm playing all of these. We're going to go triple crown Jayden Reed. If he scores the first touchdown and if he scores two in the game, we make out like bandits on Thursday and we're profitable for the week before anything else gets started. So that will feel amazing. Let's go Jayden Reed. Game in Cincinnati, I do not trust this Bengals defense still. They looked okay against Cleveland, but I think Jacksonville in some weird way packs a bigger punch than Cleveland does. And even though the Bengals are projected 26.5 points this week, which is one of the highest, I don't like any of their players. I'm going to be very cautious with them too, especially because a lot of them are very popular names and their odds reflect that. Britton Strange, however, looks good at 375. I'll play him officially for 0.25 units. Game in Dallas, I like Javonte Williams a lot. Had a bulk of the carries last week, dominated the Eagles defense, and I look for him to do the same against the Giants. Plus 130 for 0.75 units. And then Wan'Dale Robinson was second in targets after, of course, Malik Neighbors. But I think that this Cowboys team is going to put a lot of attention on Malik Neighbors, and hopefully that opens up Wan'Dale Robinson to see an increase in targets, hopefully in the red zone. Hopefully Russell Wilson can find him. 4-1, number looked good to me, so I'll play that for half a unit. I'm staying away from Chicago, a little bit nervous with this offense. I know I talked about Ben Johnson and his brain being so much larger than the average Bears brain. His brain is good, and I think Ben Johnson will get this team figured out. But after last week, I'm not quite sure what that looks like, so I'm going to back off, give the Bears a chance to figure it out. We'll look for the Lions to score. Jameson Williams at 210, and Isaac Tesla. He is a rookie. He caught a touchdown last week, and the way I'm kind of approaching this is these Bears secondary is pretty beat up. They lost cornerbacks 1, 2, and 3 in the game against Minnesota. I don't know how many of them will start or not, but I think they'll be weak in the secondary. So I'm going to pass on Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I'm going to go with the wide receiver 2, and I believe the wide receiver 3 in Tesla here for Detroit. 0.5 units on Williams, 0.35 on Tesla. Game in Tennessee, I realized that Tennessee has the lowest total on the slate. They are projected to be the least productive offense. However, I think they're really going to get Cam Ward warmed up and ready in this game. Ayomanor was second on the team in targets. I think he had 8 last week. Chico Okonkwo had 6, I believe. Both of their numbers look great. I'm not playing it for very much, guys. This is 0.1 unit. This is more of a lean, but since we're not doing leans, we're only doing official plays. I'm doing the smallest unit I think is necessary for these two guys. Game in Miami, I'm skipping. When I look at both of these teams, Their week ones were very underwhelming. Keyshawn Booty? I think you say his name Booty. I think his name is Booty. Keyshawn Booty, Boot. Stephon Diggs, Demario Douglas, Hunter Henry all had 7 and 8 targets. So your guess is as good as mine. Who's Spencer May? Who's Spencer May? Drake May. Who's Spencer? I don't think Spencer May is a person. Drake May, I don't know who he's going to look to. Obviously, Daniel Jones had success against this team. I think the Patriots will have success, but there's too many targets out there. So I'm going to take a week off. I'm not going to try to throw a blind dart at 4 names. But if you want to, I don't think it's the worst idea. Game in New Orleans. Mac Jones is starting. Brock Purdy's out 3 to 5 weeks. I'm gonna just cut my losses there and back off. I do think Spencer Rattler turns it loose again this week, and I like Rashid Shaheed and Jawan Johnson for 0.15 and 0.2 units respectively. Both of these guys, high shares in terms of targets. Chris Olave obviously was the most targeted, as you would expect, but the guy can't stay out of the medical tent. He was in and out of that thing, and he may get injured on the first play. So I like these two guys in that one. Baltimore, you see down there, has the most projected points, but Buffalo is second. I think the Lions on the previous page was 26.5 anyway, but they should score a lot of points in this one, and I like their receivers. If you think about what Aaron Rodgers did to them, which was score 4 touchdowns through the air, I think the Bills are certainly more talented than were the Pittsburgh Steelers, so I like them to do the same. Palmer and Khalil Shakur are my leans, quarter of a unit each. You want to play Coleman, that's fine. You want to play some tight ends, that's fine. You want to take Josh. Anybody's probably in play for the Bills here, but I'm going to go with their 2 and 3 wide receiver. Palmer actually had more targets than Khalil Shakur did, so his number's better, and I think they're going to try to get him into the end zone quick. I like it. I was tempted to go with his first touchdown as well, but I passed. Seattle is still insulting to me. I'm personally offended by the fact that they have Seattle scoring less than 20 points. The Jets just put up 30 on Pittsburgh, and they don't think Seattle can put up 20. I'm alarmed. I'm astonished. I'm going to go with Zach Charbonnet again. I think I'm going to bet Charbonnet as long as he is above 150. He is the team's what looks to be lead back. Now, the coach said that he is not. The coach said that they want to work Walker in more, but I just think Charbonnet is finding more success on the ground, and specifically in the red zone, I think they'll look his way. So 220. Now, that's a far cry from the 400 we got last week. We were on it early. That's good, but I still think there's value at 220. And then Cooper Kupp, target-wise, Jackson Smith and Jigba dominated. I think 13 targets in Darnold's 16 passes. Just absurd. But I think Cooper Kupp can find some room here against this defense, who, again, looked vulnerable to Justin Fields. So we'll go with Cooper Kupp at 360. And then for Baltimore, anybody's probably in play, but I like Rashad Bateman here, 225. I also like Rashad Bateman to score the first touchdown at 13-1. Reason being, I think Cleveland will do everything in their power to stop the run. They will load the box. They will make sure they contain Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. That should open up the outside. Zay Flowers is obviously priority number 1 on the outside. Then comes Bateman. I think Bateman just has the softest matchup of the day, and the defense is probably not too concerned with Bateman, which I think gives him some opportunity. So that's why I like him. And then your 4 o'clock games for Sunday. Both of these teams, Colts and Broncos, have really good defenses. And while that is just conjecture based on what we know, it also looked as if that was true in week 1. Now, they were playing the Titans in Miami, 2 of the worst teams in the league. They get a face-off, and I think it's going to be a defensive battle. I'm going to take Josh Downs only at 450 for 0.25 units. For similar reasons that I like Bateman. I think that the corners for Denver are solid. Josh Downs in the slot against zone coverage. They're going to be watching Tyler Warren. They're going to be watching Michael Pittman. I think Josh Downs has the softest of a pretty difficult defensive matchup. Game in Arizona. Listen, we're already chasing on Michael Wilson. I get it, guys. Oh, here goes Green Means Go. He's identified a target, and he's going to stick with him until he scores. It's just like baseball. Oh, it's Bryce Turang. It's the boy who cried Geraldo Perdomo. That's me. Michael Wilson, 425. Too good of a price. Too good of a price. Don't shoot the messenger. Michael Wilson, 425. First touchdown, 20-1 for 0.1 units. And then in the Chiefs game, I kind of loaded up here. I really did. Grant Calcaterra at 8-1, Tyquan Thornton and Juju Smith-Schuster. I think Marquise Hollywood Brown will get a lot of the attention for Kansas City. but we did see Philadelphia struggle to contain the Cowboys' passing offense. And if it was not for CeeDee Lamb's multiple drops, the day would have been even better for the Cowboys. I think the Chiefs find a way, and they're slim at the receiver position. But I think Thornton got some targets. Juju Smith was second in the team with targets behind Marquise Hollywood-Brown. So I like them. Very generous numbers, 410 and 380 there. And then Grant Calcaterra, I haven't talked price too much in this video because, again, this is something I'm doing for entertainment, for fun, to just try to give you guys leans. But his price at 8-1 on Kambi, that's your Bet Rivers, that's your Bally Bet, that's your Bet Parks, way off. I think the other books, FanDuel and such, was in the 400s. So Dallas Goedert is injured, did not practice yesterday. I don't know what his status is, but I think it's worth it to throw, for me, 0.25 units on Grant Calcaterra, the backup tight end who may serve as the number one tight end this weekend at 8-1 on Kambi. Then we have 3 primetime games. We'll go to Miami, which is Sunday night. I'm going with J.J. McCarthy again. This team's receiving core is hot garbage. Yes, they have Justin Jefferson. And then second is Jalen Naylor, not Josh Naylor. If it's Josh Naylor, big boy bouncing around out there, you may have my interest. No, we're talking Jalen Naylor and Adam Thielen, who had 1 target last week. Perplexing offense there. They're missing Jordan Addison. Obviously, he's suspended for the first 3 to 6 games. So I think there's going to be a lot of emphasis on trying to get McCarthy to use his legs. And I think this defense is going to come out hot. They were a little bit embarrassed by Caleb Williams at the start of the game last week. I think they're going to come out and, I think the Falcons will find success throughout the game, but I do think Minnesota scores the first touchdown, hot off the adrenaline of last week, comeback victory. I like J.J. McCarthy not only to get into the end zone at least once, but do it first. I like J.J. McCarthy first TD at 20-1, also his anytime. Both of those for 0.25 units. Then we got the game on Monday night, the first game. It's a Monday night doubleheader. I like Mike Evans, 150. This is just a gut play, guys. I mean, he was really not involved last week. Abuka was the guy who scored the touchdowns. I just think Mike Evans, he's not going to stand for that. Baker Mayfield knows, they're going to get Mike Evans his red zone targets immediately in this game. That's why I like his first, and that's why I like his anytime. I would play both. And then the late game on Monday night is your AFC West battle. I like Keenan Allen at 2-1 again and Jacoby Myers at 185 again. That's all the plays I have for you. I've officially locked all of those in. I'm riding with you if you choose to ride. But here's what I'm going to give you. I know you guys like the parlays. I know you guys are junkies in that way. And I get it. This is just for fun. And if I want to put my money where my mouth is, and my mouth is saying this is for entertainment, well, here we go. I locked this in for 0.4 units. It's officially tracked. If we win, we celebrate. You hear me? If we win, we celebrate. Josh Palmer, Cooper Kupp, Javonte Williams, and Mike Evans are my favorite 4 picks of the week. So we're going to parlay them, and we're going to put 0.4 units on them. And we're going to add it to our list, which I've already done. If you want to ride it, go for it. That's ESPN Bet. It had the best odds as of now. Maybe wait for FanDuel to come out. FanDuel isn't listing half of these odds. I don't know why FanDuel is so slow today. If you like this video and you think, man, I'd listen to him talk football at least one more video. I got a spreads, totals, and money lines video for this week. I also did my week 2 rankings, and then I did a week 1 recap with some highlights and some commentary. So all of that exists on the internet if you're interested in finding it. The last thing I'll say is if you want to support me in any way, shape, or form, the best way to do that's coming back and watching the video, sharing it with somebody, and running up the numbers so GMG can go to the moon. But if you want to actually put some money in my pocket and talk to me, you can join the Discord, join the Patreon, $5 a month. The link's in the description, and it will, again, take you to the Discord, and we can chat in there. I post all of my sheets, right, all of these spreadsheets in the Discord, so you can easily find them. You don't have to go through this video if you want to do it that way. So maybe that's worth the $5 to you on its own. I don't know. I'm just a guy. Love you. Bye.